What up, my people? ¿Qué pasa, mi gente? Welcome, bienvenidos to another episode, otro episodio de Hoy en Día TV. I'm your host and producer, Yessi Rodriguez, on this awesome, lovely day. And I'm going to bring on my amazing co-host, the author, entrepreneur, the amazing Nadine Barton. Yes.
Hola, hola, hola. Happy
How
Thursday.
are you?
I'm
How are
doing
you, my dear?
doing well.
Ooh, I see you're rocking your Hoy en Día shirt. Hey.
Yay! Yes, you noticed. Hello. Yes, you gotta
Yes.
see the shirt. You gotta see the shirt. Yes.
That's right. That's right. We're coming together, one accord. Yes. And
That's right.
those shirts are going to
See?
be up for sale very soon on the website. I will give you all a heads up when that happens because, hey, if you want to represent Hoy en Dia TV, grab yourself a shirt. We have all different colors and shapes and sizes and what have you. So, yeah, you got to rock Hoy en Dia TV.
Oh, we didn't even plan it. Look at that.
Hey, right. That part we're into. So,
Exactly.
how have you been since the last time I saw you? I'm sure you've had some exciting, fun filming gigs.
Yes, last week was pretty busy. So this week, I guess it's time to relax because I'm not booked and busy this week, but I'm relaxing and I have some other things coming up. So, yeah.
Well, I am proud of you and happy for you. That is awesome. And on my end, yes, I'm actually currently on location. I traveled all the way to Wisconsin. So I'm filming Oindia TV today out in Wisconsin, and it's fun. Thankfully, the weather is, mellow, right? It's not super cold where I have to pull out my puffer coats and stuff, but it's been a nice
Right.
trip so far, shipping with everyone. So,
I
and
was
seeing
gonna ask
family.
about that. I was gonna ask about the weather because I know it's pretty cold there in the wintertime. So I mean, I know it's close. We are in October, right? So just checking.
Yeah, well, so thankfully, it looks like they're having their Indian summer. And so I
Mm,
really wasn't quite sure like what exactly the Indian summer is. So from what I research, it's just a warmer type of climate before it gets super cold. And warmer is not like 80 degrees, but it's more like in the 70s and 60s, and slowly in the evening is dropping down into the 50s. But you are right, Wisconsin does get very cold, especially in the winters. You can see negative below 0 degrees, and it's windy, and so it can get pretty brutal. I mean, it's not as bad as Canada because obviously, Canada is more up north, but we can still feel a little roughness of when winter
right.
comes for sure. So
Because you know, for me, as soon as if the wind blow too hard, I'm grabbing for a jacket.
I feel you, girl. Me too. Because I was like, oh, I'm always cold.
I can't take the cold. This island girl loves the heat.
I feel you. I love that heat too. Yes, I don't blame you. I mean, I can't deal with the cold either. That's another reason why I had to move because I'm like, no, this cold is too rough for me. But hey,
Right.
I'm glad I came at this a good time where it's not super cold yet, and I still get to enjoy and be able to do outdoor activities and stuff. So yeah.
Exactly.
So Nadine, I'm not sure if you heard. I there was a sad story that I came about that I read about a young woman that reached out on social media about her daughter being abused and molested by 8, 9, and 10-year-olds. And I'm actually going to read that to you. And I want to get your point of view. I have some point of views as a parent. But this is a topic that I feel is very important for the audience and listeners to know and understand, especially when you're a parent. Um, One, who you're allowing your child to take care, like who's watching your child. That's one, and two, understanding what they're exposed to, right?
Right.
So I'm going to read the story. I'm just going to find it real quick, but just more food for thought. I want to hear your perspective once I read it because it's really heartbreaking. Um, this young girl's story. Give me just a moment. This happened out in Ohio. This actually happened back in September, so this is recent. Um, the daughter is 5, so the daughter of this individual is 5 years old. Let's see. So the person is Atavia Robinson. Um, the daughter. Oh gosh, that was not pulling up for me. What in the world?
So you're talking about they're 9 and 10, right? Those
So there
that
were
are getting
there's
charged.
three children. Well, four together. It's a 5-year-old, and then there's the 8, 9, and 10-year-old that apparently took this young 5-year-old. They somehow managed to get her out the house and took her to the woods area, and they did a number on her. But I want to read the actual story because it's pretty deep. So,
Yeah, I have it pulled up now. I'm
you do? Okay, so can you read that for us based on what you see?
Yes, it's two children ages 9 and 10 charged with attempted murder, rape, and I'll say grape in brutal attack on 5-year-old girl. Prosecutors say Cleveland, Ohio. Two children ages 9 and 10 are facing several serious charges, including attempted murder and rape, after prosecutors say they brutally attacked a 5-year-old girl in Cleveland. According to Cuyahoga County prosecutors, the two children have been charged in connection with the assault and that occurred last month. Prosecutors say a 9-year-old boy and a 10-year-old girl are facing initial charge. A girl?
A girl. They didn't say it
Are
was a girl. At first they said it was
they,
three boys.
is
That's
it a
interesting.
9-year-old boy and a 10-year-old girl? I hope this is a mistake. Are facing initial charges of attempted murder, rape, felonious assault, kidnapping, and strangulation. Antavia Kenebrew, the victim's mother, said she dropped her daughter off September 13 at a family member's home. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
In
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland. Somehow, the 5-year-old walked out the front door and was allegedly badly beaten by a group of kids outside. When Kenebrew
Right.
found out, she rushed over and saw EMS treating her daughter several blocks over. What I saw was unbelievable, she said. My daughter was not my daughter. Her hair was scalped from her head. She had bruises and blood all over her body. Her eyes were filled with blood. Her lips and mouth were filled with blood. Her nails had debris and dirt stuck in them. Given the sensitive
Mm-hmm.
nature of the matter and the age of the suspects, police have not released further details about the attack. Age doesn't matter for you to do something like that. That's crazy. Kinneber says the attack left her daughter physically, emotionally, and mentally hurt. The 5-year-old is now in therapy. I want her to just be somewhat of a normal 5-year-old again, Kinneber said. Police are continuing to investigate. What? Are you
Oh,
crazy?
right. So I'm glad you read that, right? Because when I read that as a parent, my blood started boiling. Whoo,
This
that's tough.
is
Right, that's tough. And so this is what we're seeing here. This is my perspective, and I definitely want to hear your perspective. Listening and reading it, I see your reaction, and I see like that's heartbreaking. One, the fact that and there was three actually. I don't know why just two were charged. Apparently, in the original story, because I came across this on Facebook actually, and this was popped up in my storyline, and the mother put a whole like a long multiple paragraph, and she was very specific about everything that she experienced with her daughter, based on what she saw in her daughter. She even put pictures up of how her daughter looked. And Nadine, that was
I don't even
heartbreaking.
want to see it. I don't want to see it. Let me tell you, there's no excuses, but please tell me those kids were freaking possessed or something. There got to be a reason for 9 and 10-year-old kids to be what?
Right, right. So my first question is, how did this young 5-year-old girl get out the house? The mother left her with a family member, as you read, right? This family member, why did he or she not visually, why was she or he not watching the child to see that they left the house? That's one. That's my first concern there. The second concern, because apparently this young girl, from what I originally read, she suffers from autism, right? That's another sad part. This 5-year-old young little girl has autism. So somehow she managed to leave the house. This whoever was taking care of her,
Whoever
and
is
and then
taking care of
secondly,
her should be charged. That person should have been charged.
yep. And I was saying the same. I feel the same thing you do. Also, the parents of these 9, 8, 9, 10-year-olds. The initial reason why the mother went on social media is because at first they were not going to charge these kids, Nadine. The state of Ohio was saying, "Oh, they're too young. We can't do anything about it." Well, guess what? I believe in. Okay, so if you're not going to charge these kids, somebody has to be
You
held
need
accountable. Charge the
you need to charge
parents.
the parents.
Charge the parents, right? Because they're learning that from somewhere. What are these kids being exposed to? What are these kids watching? Are you, as a parent, are you physically abusing and doing this to your kid? CPS needs to be in those homes investigating and peeling that onion to see there's something going on that is causing these kids to react this way. And also, I agree with you, Nadine. I believe in the power of demonic possession and all that. So yes, those, to me, I agree. And that, you're not the first person that said that. I've heard others, based on their posts and stuff about this, that they reacted the same way. Yes, those kids are possessed demonically.
Yes, exactly. Something is going on. Something is in the water. Like, unless I don't even want to say this, but unless that person who was taking care of that child contacted those kids to do that. But there's so many thoughts that's going through my head right now. This is unbelievable.
Right. It's
A
horrible.
5-year-old, there are people out there that can't even have kids that want kids. This is crazy.
I know, Nadine. I know. And this is why we're bringing this up today, because as a parent, as whoever, if you're taking care of your niece, your nephew, your little cousin, whoever, right? You are entitled, or you're blessed to take care of a younger child that's depending on you. Please, these are things you have to be mindful of. Be mindful of their surroundings. Who's watching them? What are they doing? What are they being fed? What are they watching on TV or being exposed to? These are key things that as parents and as guardians of these young children that we are bringing up, we need to know this, because we want to make sure that the kids are in the right hands, right?
I keep saying that there's a reason why God didn't give me any kids, because I don't even know like where my mind is, and if somebody do something to my child, I don't know how I would react. I'd be under the jail somewhere.
I feel you, sis. I feel you. I mean, I'm glad that finally the state of Ohio is holding people accountable. And yes, those kids are being accountable, but I also feel like those parents need to be held accountable too. Those parents need to do some jail time, they need to pay some fines, need to do something, because
That's
those
why
kids are
they have
learning that from someone.
juvenile for a reason. Why do they?
Right.
Hello.
Right. Exactly. So I just, again, wanted to share that, to bring awareness to to parents, to caregivers, or to anyone who you consider a guardian. You're watching, you got guardianship of a young one. These are important things that you have to know. You have
This
to
is
know this.
heartbreaking. Oh my God, poor baby. She'll never ever be the same. I mean, I just pray that she gets the therapy that she needs and just come out of this. But she is a reason why she's still here, because she's gonna get out of this and she's gonna have a story to tell.
Absolutely. Amen. And I feel you. I agree with you. It's really unfortunate that she had to deal with this, but I agree. This is part of her testimony, right? And I'm praying for her and the family, because this is truly devastating. And also from a parent's perspective, you never ever want to see your child suffer or deal with something like this. That's heartbreaking. That is truly heartbreaking. But that's the world that we are in.
That's why I stay away from the news, because this is crazy.
Yeah. No, I feel you, sis. And see, with us here, we should be in a lifestyle show. We shed light on just different topics. And so, this is why I'm bringing this up today, because there's a lot of people that didn't know, right? Even prior to you reading this, I got the impression that, based on your response, you didn't know either, right? So we need to bring awareness, right? That's the goal, because more people need to understand who you are allowing your child to be with. They need to be responsible. It's not just, oh, can you watch my kid? Okay. And if they say yes, then you have to understand, what are you going to do? How are you going to watch the kid? What are you going to feed them? These are important questions as a parent, as a guardian, that you need to keep in mind. It's not just, okay, pawn the kid off and you got to run off somewhere. And I'm not saying that the mother did that at all, because from what I was reading, her initial story, she had to have a medical procedure, and she asked a family member that she entrusted to help watch the child. They said yes.
How does a 5-year-old walk out the front door? I'm not understanding that. I'm still trying to grasp it.
Me too.
What were you doing that you left the door open for a 5-year-old to just walk out?
That part right there. Food for thought, for sure. But yes, so wanted to share that. Nadine, I know you've been sharing some awesome stories. We're going to pivot over to something a little bit more lighter, because I know that was a little bit heavier, before we bring on our guest who's patiently waiting behind the scenes. Yes. So There was a really nice video that I saw that you had shared about a teacher making the game fun and education. And it was like, what was it, like a math
Yeah, that was
rhyme.
so much fun. Yes.
Hmm. So there was a teacher, and I can't remember where it was from, but I thought this was a really cool way to learn, right? Because everybody's children, they learn differently. We all learn differently. So from the video that Nadine shared, the teacher asked them to do like was it like a comedy, like a joke. It's like 1 plus 1 is you and me or something like that. It was something really cute and fun. And I just thought that was really smart, artistic, out of the box, because one, they're learning, two, they're having fun, they're engaging. This was recorded, so now they get to have this, to look back when they get older. And to me, more teachers should make education a lot more fun and engaging, right? Because everybody's learning style is different. It's not just old school, read the books, sitting at your desk and be quiet. Like, make this fun for kids to want to learn and motivate them to want to continue on. What are your thoughts on
I think they look forward to go to that class because they were all engaged. They were ready for the questions, and they
it?
were just,
Hmm.
I think it was really, really fun. I'm here looking for the video that I sent. I don't remember what day I sent it, but it was really funny. It was really fun. Yeah. These,
Yeah.
what is the name of it? It's a math pickup lines.
Math pickup lines. Yes, I
Yes.
love that. And the kids, I want to say they look like they were in middle school, right?
Yes.
Okay. So parents out there, that is a fun and artistic way to engage your kids. Make it fun.
This
Think
one
outside
says,
the box.
what do you call a friend that love math?
Oh,
It
let's.
says what? So he hugged his buddy and says, algebra. That was really cool.
That is so cute. I love that. Yes. I love that. That's super genius. See, hey.
That was a really, really creative way for her to get her kids engaged in her class. I think that was really dope. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, that sounded like that was a fun class to be a part of for sure.
Mhm.
But yes, well, we have reached the point where we're going to transition over to our special guest who's patiently waiting behind the scenes with his family. All right. So today on Oyandia TV, our guest, Faith Flow and the Fight to Rise, featuring J.O.T, aka known as Grande Gato. So we're gonna get ready for an unforgettable and soul-steering episode today. J.O.T, also known as Grande Gato, a true warrior, artist, and visionary whose journey from cancer survivor to CEO, rapper, author, designer, and faith driven leader will move and motivate you. From surviving cancer and walking in divine purpose to creating Soulful Productions, a Christian based music, clothing, and publishing powerhouse, JOT has dedicated his life to spreading the message that through faith and perseverance, the impossible becomes possible. With over 20 albums, 5 books, and 10 vinyl releases, his testimony isn't just heard, it's also felt. His story reminds us that every battle can become a blessing when you keep your eyes on God. Tune in today as our team, me and Nadine, and shout out to Cece who is watching us remotely. She isn't able to join us, but hey, she's here in spirit with us, right? And we dive into JOT's journey, his music, mission, and miracles, and discover how he continues to make his soul feel full while uplifting the world through faith, hip hop, and heart. So without further ado, we're going to welcome our special guest, Grande Gato.
Hello.
Welcome, bienvenidos.
Yeah. Hola. Hello.
Hello, hello. How are you all today?
Hello. Doing good. Doing good.
Good. Well, we're truly excited to have you here.
Welcome,
So, so
welcome.
you, yeah. So you have your lovely wife and your son. Please introduce yourselves.
Yes, I am Miss Crystal, aka Bonita Senorita, and I am the singer of the group.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm Poco Pillow, aka J Quiz, the kid rapper of the group.
Nice. I love that. Yes. So you have a very robust bio. I love that. So, although your bio says one thing, in a nutshell, who do you say you are, Grande Gato?
I would say I'm trying to be a person that encourages through everything I do. Because I felt like that was my mission, my calling to encourage
Okay.
people. So whether it be through music, through books, through clothing, however, even acting. I know we actually were got a chance to share a moment in making them famous. I saw you were in there too, which I didn't know
Mhm.
before. But as I was reading your bio, yeah, we were in the same face-based movie. So yeah,
We were. Hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So walk us through. So
Thank
how
you,
did it all
famous.
start?
Uh, and I'm sorry,
How
yes,
did it how did it all start from the beginning? So walk me through when you were growing up. What
gotcha.
motivated you to start doing what you do or continue to do what you do today? How did that journey look?
Okay. Just to give you, I guess the full circle story. I was a DJ first, and this was before I started walking with God. I was DJing. Started in high school. I was doing DJing professionally because I was actually getting paid for it in high school.
Mhm.
And then when I got to college at NC State, I was DJing a lot of parties for the frats, sororities, the athletes, different organizations, and even some clubs. But one night, I was with a friend in the car, and I kind of felt like now I felt I heard a voice, and it was like, "What are you doing?" And I immediately just kind of put my face in my hands because I knew it was God's voice, and I knew He was calling me. It's like you can't mistake God's voice. God's voice is God's voice. It's God, and so um, I felt like, okay, God wants me to do something with my life. Cause like I said, I wasn't really, following God. My mom and dad would take me to church when I was little, and I got baptized and stuff like that. But I still wasn't walking with God. You know what I mean? So that was a pivotal point in my life, and God was like, I'm gonna do something with you. He said, I'm gonna make you spread the good news. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be, DJing, spreading the good news. God was like, no, I'm gonna make you rap. And I was like, I can't rap.
If I can make a donkey talk, I can make you wait.
Yeah, my son, he knows my what I always tell people in the Bible says, well, if I can make a donkey talk, well, which he did. I said, well, he said I can make you rap. And I was like, okay. I was like, okay, God, I'm gonna let you use me however you see fit. But and then so he kind of took me on a process because not only was I starting to rap in English, but I also was starting to minister in Spanish.
Like Limpia Palau when they
That's
performed
right.
at Sancho Quidiana.
That's right. Yeah, my song Limpia Palabra song. So I started, just really trying to spread the good news both in English and Spanish.
Elite man.
Yeah, and so
Yes,
that's right. And I started first performing in churches. It was both Hispanic and English churches, English speaking churches, and then it branched off into festivals.
Like
Yes,
Packapalooza.
that's right. So I started doing like the music festivals. They were predominantly English, and then I started doing the Hispanic festival. It started branching out into festivals not only in North Carolina but in Miami. I actually had gotten invited down there to perform. Of all people, Luke from Two Live Crew. He actually invited me to his Emoja Festival that he used to have, the annual Emoja Festival, and I went and performed my song Parganar down there. Yeah, so it's kind of funny, and then we started doing nightclubs.
Like the Cinnamons in
Yeah,
2024.
that's right. But so we started doing nightclubs, and it was received well in both the English and the Hispanic speaking nightclubs. And then my wife and I, before our son was born, we actually had a chance to go over and perform in Havana, Cuba, and spread the message overseas. Which I was like, I wasn't expecting that, but God opens doors. Because what was really funny about that, Yessie, you have to have permission to go to Cuba. The government has to give you permission, and I didn't have anybody to speak on my behalf, so I just I wrote a letter, and they approved it. And I was
That's
like, wow, okay.
amazing.
Yeah, God was just opening doors, and
God would turn the possible
that's
to
right. That's
impossible.
right. God made it possible. It's possible. So yeah, I mean, from there, we just kept going, and then my son was born, and
Then I performed at
that's
the
right.
Carolina Craft Fair 2021. Then later, I performed at Pack of Poison.
Yeah, he started performing with
And
us.
then I performed the Expand Here Today event for Bianca Akatar in 2022
That's right.
too.
That's right.
But then when 2023 hit, I performed at El Feverdenia.
That's right.
Then when at Beat Lab, I performed Thorn Pill Trap Room.
That's right. So basically what he's letting y'all know, he started performing with us, and eventually that trickled out into him performing a solo career because he does his own shows now.
And then this year I
Does he?
performed at the Star Kid Fest. I performed February Necessitas.
Yeah, he actually did a show just last week in Charlotte because he performed for the Charlotte Kids Fest. So
just like last year.
yeah. So what is funny? God not only planted the seed in me and my wife, but now it's trickled down to him to where he's actually spreading the good news, in English and Spanish. So I feel very blessed, to say the least, that we can do this all as a family. And I mean, because that's a very very important to me, because a lot of people, when you have somebody that does music and the other family members don't, it can kind of pull you all apart. You know what I'm saying? Even
Right,
though
right.
you're trying to make it work because you're going out there, but I thank God we perform together, so we don't really have, like to have to worry about that problem. So it's a big blessing, but I guess that's kind of the full circle story to answer your question.
Yeah, thank
How
you
I got
for
started.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. I have a follow up, and I'm going to let Nadine ask her question because with me, I'll just keep throwing them at him. So,
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Nadine.
Yes, you have a very extensive resume, so congratulations with all your accomplishments, and
Thank you.
blessings to you and your recovery from cancer, because not everybody's able. My dad, he wasn't so fortunate. He lost the battle on that.
Right. I'm sorry to hear
So,
that. Yeah.
right. So my question for you is, so it says that you've released over 20 albums and written 5 books. That's a massive creative legacy, right? So how
Yeah.
do you stay inspired and spiritually aligned while juggling so many different projects?
Um, I feel like God spared me because He did, like you said, He did spare me with the cancer. He didn't have to do it because I was actually taking chemo with two of my friends' mothers, and they died. They passed. They didn't make it like me.
Like
And so a lot of
I
people,
need it.
yeah, that's right. And so a lot of people that I knew that had cancer weren't as fortunate as I was. And so I said, God spared me for a reason, and I said, I'm not going to take it for granted. I said, He called me to do, this Soulful Productions ministry. So I said, I'm not going to sit here and drag my feet with it, because I said, He sat there, He spared me. So I'm going to make every minute, every hour, every day, count. And so that's, I guess, to answer your question, that's my motivation. The fact that He spared me and He didn't have to, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, and I have one more question. So yeah, like you said before, so many people, they face the struggle of having gone, not just cancer, but many different ailments, and
Right.
finding hope after facing their life threatening challenges, right? So
Right.
what message, right, do you want to leave with anyone who feels like they're fighting a battle they can't win?
Um, the message that I would sit there and give them is always just have faith. Even when it seems like, it's not good, there's no way. Still have faith, because there's been times when, even though I've been walking with, God, that I mean my faith wavers, but I have to shake that off, because I'm like, no, God didn't bring me this far to leave me. And
Right.
just when I start thinking like that, God will sit there out of nowhere and he'll make a miracle happen. And that's the whole point. He wants to give us a testimony so that people will know this is nothing but God. That's the only way it could have happened, because it should have been impossible. So that's
Absolutely,
what
this.
that's what I would tell them. Just have faith, even when it seems like there's no way.
Absolutely. There's no testimony without a test. All you need is a little mustard seed.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it, Jesse.
I love that. Those were great questions, Nadine, and good answers. Thank you. Thank you. And so mine's just more about the family dynamic. I know you mentioned that with you work with your wife, she's a singer, then your son as well.
Yeah.
So how did that come about? One, I would love to know, like, how did you and your wife come together? How did you, say, hey, this is what we're going to do together? And now instilling that positivity and hope into your son to that continue to do what he's doing today and going forward.
Okay, well, I'll let my wife kind of tell you how we met, because it was at her job. That she had a job before she went off to college, and kind of like where we met, just to give you a little a little in background info. But go ahead.
We met in the library where I worked, and I was just walking around checking books, and he needed help at the computer. And so I went over there to help him at the computer, and I saw where he had a music video up on the computer. And I said, "Oh, wow, that's you in the video." He's like, "Yes, it aired on BET." I was like, "Wow." And he even had vinyl records with him. He kept that with him, and he let me see it. And at first I thought he was giving it to me. And so I walked up, he said, "Oh, that's, I just meant for you to look at it." And so, yeah, that's how we came together. And later on, he wanted to hear me sing and dance because I wanted to be in the video. And so after that, I let him hear me sing. And he was like, "Wow." And it was history ever since then. And I was able to be on vinyl record and CDs starting off. Now digitally, our music is on all the platforms and everything. Yeah, so that's how it began.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was the shortened version. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is awesome. Yes. And so now you have an amazing, handsome young son, and now it looks like the legacy has carried over to your son. So what do you do to continue to help your son keep motivated to want to push forward and do what drives him and his passion?
The main thing I try to do, even though I always tell them, we do music, but it's more than just music. I always
Mhm.
tell them, it's more than just entertainment. I always
Right.
try to instill in him. I always remember, J. Chris, I said, this is ministry. So it means even when we're not on stage, we got to conduct ourselves, how God would want us to.
Mm-hmm.
He's
And
done very
act
well with
like
that.
what we say in our songs.
That's right. That, like he said, act like what we say in our songs, or practice what we preach. And that's what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
I always
Put your foot to walk.
That's right. That's right.
With Christ, though, it's possible.
That's right, J. Chris. So he's done an excellent job with that. I always congratulate him because he's 15, and I mean, he's just doing, like I said, his life itself. I mean, to me, is a testimony, because he could be out there at 15. I mean, we just heard the story that y'all were talking about beforehand, the 10-year-old and all that, but he's grounded in Christ, or Christo, and he's out here like making, a decent living the right way. He's not out here selling drugs.
Making money the white, the Neil the white.
That's right.
By performing my God-given talent.
That's right. That's right. And so we're very proud of him. That's right. Yeah, so we're very proud of him.
That is amazing. Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought that up, because you both being parents, I believe that also the foundation is definitely something that needs to be strong at home in order for us to continue to help our children grow into the better version of themselves each and every day, right? And so even as the example of the story that Nadine and I were just talking about, which is really unfortunate, that young girl, being affected, especially by 8, 9, and 10-year-olds.
Yes.
What do you do on a day-to-day to make sure that you as parents stay vigilant about who encounters your son or who watches, or if, if there's ever a need for a caretaker or a babysitter, so to speak, what food for thought or words of wisdom would you share for parents to be mindful of?
Giving them vegetables.
Yeah, we
I
well,
love that. I love that.
we
That's cute.
yeah, but kind of to piggyback on what you all were saying, just finding out what's going on, so that you know ahead of time what's the game plan while we're gone, what's going to be happening. We need to know what are you going to be doing. Is anybody going to be, what I'm saying, else coming up? All kinds of things. Because at the end of the day, it's up to us parents. We got to sit there and we got to stay on our, what's going on with what our kids, because if we don't, then I mean, who will? Our kids depend on us. They depend on us, the parents. So that's why I say we just try to really make sure that we're always knowing what's going on with our son. um, and anybody who comes in contact with our son, I'm always kind of on, I mean, defensive mode, I guess you could say, just really trying to see what's what. So I mean, yeah, they're piggybacking off of what y'all were mentioning earlier about what parents should do.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and he's
Yeah,
definitely going to be carrying on your legacy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's the game plan.
absolutely. We're going to go for a quick commercial break for one of our sponsors. We'll be right back. Do not go anywhere.
From the moment that I put this Cab Zenza on my skin, it feels most amazing. As you can see, it has your skin glistening, it's moisturizing, and it's very, 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 very yummy. You too should get Cab Zenza.
Luxurious body butters.
Dream, explore, discover with Nadine's Travel Oasis. Your next adventure is just a booking away. From breathtaking beaches to vibrant cityscapes, we handle the details so you can make the memories. Luxury, leisure, or last-minute getaways, we've got you covered. Book today and let Nadine's Travel Oasis take you places.
All right, shout out to our sponsor, Nadine Barton with Capsenza Butters and also Nadine's Travel Oasis. So, hey, you need help with travel, if you want to have some silky, smooth skin, because you got to get that anti-aging, reach out to Nadine. She is your girl. Yes, 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 yes. All right. And going back to our guest, Nadine, any follow-up questions before I ask my follow-up questions?
Let me see. I think those were all the questions I have for you today. Oh, so
Okay.
what? Well, I'll leave the last question for you. Yes, no, that's it. That's it. All I got.
Okay, no, yeah, because I'm curious about these books. Nadine is also an author, and so I see that Gato Grande in your bio. You mentioned that you wrote 5 books. Is that
Yes.
correct? So tell
First
me
one,
more
white
about the different
stereotype.
books and what people can expect from each book that you've published.
Okay.
White can stereotype and talking about white can good or bad stereotypes.
Yeah. So he's right there, but
The picture with the Central Christiana cover on
yeah.
the book.
Yeah, as he mentioned, I have one book called Breaking Stereotypes. That one essentially just trying to, like you said, show more of a positive encouragement type image and message through that book. Because a lot of times there's negative stereotypes to go along with rap, whether it be in English or Spanish, they associate violence, they associate, explicit lyrics, vulgarity and all that. But this is what I was telling my son. He's breaking stereotypes as well as his dad, as well as his mom, and that's what the goal is. So, the same thing we do in our music is what we do in the books. I have breaking stereotypes is one. The very first one I wrote was about J.O.T. That book just went through why I do what I do, told people a little bit about, my calling, and then went through songs on my first CD that talked about what each song meant. Everything from, I had a song called The 10 Commandments, where I just wanted to go through the 10 Commandments for those who don't read the Bible, because some people don't read the Bible, they don't know the 10 Commandments. So I went through all the 10 Commandments, rapping them. And so for those who wanted to know it, I had a song called Limpia Palabras.
To Queen Words.
To clean words for the Hispanic community to let them know, that we keep it clean. No sexually explicit lyrics, no violence, no, nothing like that. And I just kept on going through, just giving people deeper insight to my songs than them just listening to it. What I was trying to, I guess, achieve with each song with the listeners and the
It's
audience.
snowflake talking about going through a storm.
Yeah,
when
so
you quit to walk.
that's right. So
That's what snowflake talking about.
that's right. So yeah, and so it was another book my wife and I had, which was a double book.
Making no way. Quit on making way and no way.
But before that, it was called Peacemaker, which was her side, and then when you flip the book over, it was what was mine called?
Making a way and no way.
Yeah, making a way out of no way. So it was a double book where you could flip it over one side and read the book, and then you had to flip it over on the other side and read the other book. We try to do that just to make it a little interesting to people. So just to keep it just, I guess you could say, lively so they won't get bored. Then I had another book called let's see. Press on making a way out of no way was actually um that was actually a separate book. My son got a little confused. The one that was a double book with my wife was called I Could Have Gotten Revenge, but I didn't. So her side was Peacemaker. And then when you flip it over on the other side, it was I Could Have Gotten Revenge, but I didn't. Now that book was about me being tested as a person in life, because I had a lot of times I was tested. But because I was walking with God, I didn't do what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? In these situations. And I just had to give it over to God and pray about it. And God brought me through. It wasn't, now when I say that, I don't mean to belittle it and make it sound like it's just so easy. I want people to understand it's very hard, but I didn't take revenge like the Bible says. It says, "Revenge is mine," thus saith the Lord. So I actually gave it over to God. Yeah. So and
we don't use it.
That's right. And so
it's Christianity.
So I hope that book I think can help a lot of people, especially in this day and time when everybody's so gung ho about an eye for an eye, and 2 foot, you know what I mean? And they're ready to just go to war with somebody instead of trying to pray for peace. Because a lot of times people don't understand, when you don't take revenge, that's not for the other person. That's for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to remember, when you take revenge, you're kind of becoming just like the person that you felt like has done wrong to you. And you know what I mean? So what makes you then, if you do that, any better than the person that did it to you? So I mean, yeah. So that's kind of like what that book was talking about. So yeah, the first one about J.O.T, the second one breaking stereotypes, the third one was the collaboration book Peacemaker, and I Could Have Gotten Revenge. The fourth book was Press On, Making a Way Out of No Way, which was my son mentioned. That book was talking about kind of like Nadine's question, when what I would offer to people as far as hope and everything, having faith when there seems like there's no way. That book is actually a whole book dedicated to that. Just that's why I named it Press On, Making a Way Out of No Way. And yeah, and I have another book too. This book wasn't released online, but it was mainly a book of pictures. It was almost like a photo album of various places that I had performed, and like yeah. So it was, and with other artists and stuff.
And it had me too.
That's right, and it's got my son and wife in there. It's almost like a music photo book.
With the music and me and then mommy.
That's right, there, Chris. So yeah,
I'm the No Quan Shui book.
Right, but the other books I mentioned actually can be found online.
The Soulful book.
Yeah, so yeah.
Okay, awesome. For those interested in purchasing or finding your books, where can they find them?
Amazon and Book Baby.
Yeah, but the easiest way they can find it
on the Soulful website, www.soulfulproduction.com.
Yeah, on our website, soulfulproductions.com. And for those who don't know, it's spelled SOUL FULL, two L's at the end of full, Productions, spelled the regular way with an S at the end, .com. Yep. Soulful Productions.
Okay.
That's how you can buy the stuff.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, and I was gonna say, and speaking of Soulful Productions, my son and wife wanted if they could.
I have a Poker Pill jacket.
My son, we wanted to show. We got some other things that we do too. My son, this is his Poco Pair jacket.
Show you.
Because we try to do things like I said through fashion too. Because
Oh,
we have.
nice. Yes.
Yeah. So this is one of his jackets from.
And it has a leather piece, so fancy.
Yeah, and it has the logo, the Soulful logo on it.
I like that.
Yeah. So he definitely liked it too, and this is available too. This is from this is from his line because he has his kids line of faith-based clothing, and also along with his faith-based music, and then my wife, she has for the women. Yes, she has the faith-based heels, the heels that have the message along with the style of appearance, and she'll show you.
Shoes.
Yeah. This is one of the shoes right
there. It has the logo on the side.
Yeah, and it has the Soulful.
Original artwork.
But yeah.
Nice. Yes. I like those. And those are also available on the website, soulfulproductions.com?
Yes.
Okay, great.
And we, like I said, we try to just really reach people in different ways. And I know we mentioned the vinyl records. Right now, just to be quick, this is one of the Spanish vinyl records we have in the store. Yeah, it's called Es Posible. And
it got my song Fantastic.
That's right. It has my son song on there, Fantastic.
And mommy song Suing Up Perfecto.
That's right.
Me, I'm not perfect.
That's right. And my wife song Suing Up Perfecto. So we try to like I said, just incorporate in everything. And then what I did too, because I was in the movie Making Them Famous that you also in, Yessie, I kind of did an unofficial Christian album to go with because this was my first acting debut in a movie. I've never been in a movie in my life. So I came up with this to kind of go with my debut, and basically just, Christian rap, which we already mentioned, in English and Spanish. And I actually had a cut on there called Make Him Famous. And because I felt like being in this movie was such a blessing because it falls right in line. That's right. It falls right in line with what we were already, doing. So it was just like, God blessed us even more by letting us as a faith-based, group, me being in a faith-based movie. And but that was just a little quick, I guess you could say an overview of some of the things that we offer and everything.
That is amazing. Yes, thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. And for those interested in purchasing any of those items or, going to the website, soulfulproductions.com. And you can read the books there, buy the vinyls and, buy the books, obviously, so you can read them. The shoes are there, clothing, they have it all at that website. So thank you definitely for sharing that. Let me go back to this because I was, a question came up with regards to the book where you were mentioning Not Taking Revenge. And I can't remember, what was that book?
Yeah, I could have gotten revenge, but I didn't.
Right. So, as humans, most individuals have that battle with the flesh, right? Versus the spirit. What food for thought or words of wisdom would you share to an individual who may be dealing with a situation where the flesh wants to take over? How would you walk them off that ledge to say, hey, keep your peace, don't take that revenge, keep moving forward?
I would say, because this is, like I said, this is what I had to do for me. I had to ask myself, okay, James, why are you wanting to take revenge? And I'll just use this for example. Let's say if somebody punched you. Okay, if somebody punched me, I have two options. I could punch them back, which is the normal the normal reaction for most of the world. You know what I mean? The world's thinking. Or I can do what God wants me to do
And to ignore them.
and ignore
What
and
God.
walk away. And and some people, depending on who you're talking to, some people would applaud you. Some people would say, "Oh, you're being a punk, you're being soft, blah blah blah." But with me, I said, if I'm nothing like them, then I can sit there and rebuke what they're doing. But if I become like them, like they say, how can Satan rebuke Satan, if that makes any sense?
That's not
Because
possible.
I preach to Jay Chris all the time about nonviolence. And I always tell him to ignore. I say it's gonna be hard, but you gotta ignore. I can't sit there and tell him one thing, but then turn around and do another. Because if I start resorting to violence, it's gonna contradict everything that I've been teaching him. And like I said, now I'm not making it sound. I don't want to make it sound easy, because I don't want to sit there and be misleading to people. I've struggled with it, but I've been able to do it. But it was very, very hard. Yes, I mean,
Cause you
yeah,
try to practice what you preach
that's
and
right.
what you do.
Yeah,
Even that you're not perfect. So in a perfect time,
that's right.
but they try to minister to people, even that he not perfect,
Yeah.
but still do it.
And see, that's one thing I'm glad my son notices too. Yeah, I always tell him that Daddy's not perfect, J. Chris.
Because you're not a robot.
Yeah, because that's one of the stereotypes people always have associated with when you walk in your Christian walk. Oh, you're perfect. And I'm like, no, not even. Nothing like that. But I try. That's all we can do in life. You know,
He's
I
very
try.
smart.
Yeah, and he gets that. My son gets that, and I'm so thankful for that, because as long as he knows that if he tries to do what God wants,
then God
he'll
will
be
be
blessed.
pleased.
That's right. That's right. And that's what I want him to always remember, because sometimes we're gonna be, triumphant in what we're doing. Sometimes we're gonna fall and not be triumphant in what we're doing. But in either case, if you're trying,
then God say, "Well done, my faithful servant."
That's right.
I will bless you.
That's right. And that's what I want him to always remember. So yeah, just to answer your question, that's what I would try to impart to people, that you gotta try to, not take revenge. And like I said, I'm not trying to, mislead them into thinking that that's gonna be easy. But you gotta try.
Right.
I think that's what I'm trying to say. And if you try, God will help you. That's where the Holy Spirit comes in and gives you that strength that you may not have, but the Holy Spirit will give it to you. You know what I mean? And it will help you to overcome what you want to do.
To overcome your obstacles.
And to help you to do what you should do.
To overcome your
Absolutely.
obstacles.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Yes, thank you for that. Nadine,
Yeah.
before I play another sponsor commercial, did you have a follow-up question for him?
No, it's just that everything's been amazing. I mean, your whole family, the dynamic of what you have going on. Your son, he's a very smart young man, and I just know that you guys are gonna be great, are greater than what you are right now.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We're going to go on to another quick commercial break, so don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Let's see.
A bold builder of people, purpose, and platforms, Girls with Gigs helps high performers and those desiring to achieve more shift mindsets and activate purpose. Whether it's career or leadership development, personal branding, or knowing your worth, in the job market, transformation has never been closer, because this is where purpose meets action and dreams become destiny. Book your free consultation today at www.girlswithgigs.com.
Yes, so for those who want to find your purpose because you are not quite sure and you need some guidance, definitely go and visit our amazing Dr. Cece, the Actionist, with girlswithgigs.com, Inspire for Purpose, and she will definitely help you get on track and help you out find that purpose. So yes, absolutely. So now we've reached the point for our last minute words, and this is just an opportunity to allow people to know more about you, whether it's how they can find you on social media, remind them of any of your pages, what you have coming up next. Also, if you have a paragraph or quote or Any last food for thought that you want to share with the audience and listeners? This is an opportunity to do so. And for you all to get a glimpse of how that looks, I'm going to have Nadine start us off, and then we'll go into Gato Grande and your family. And then from there, I'll close up because we have a few more sponsor videos to show. So,
Okay.
Nadine, without further ado.
Yes, as you see, my name is Nadine Barton. On the screen, Nadia B _1202. That's my Instagram, and my website is Nadine Barton, as it's spelled right there.com. You'll find my books, and it will take you to my website. Also, if you like my luxurious body butters, you could find me on www.cabzenzah.com, cabzenza.com. Also, my favorite quote is life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react. So make sure that you treat people kind. So I am going to say it again. Life is 10% of what happened to you and 90% of how you react. And again, I'm an author, entrepreneur, retired Navy veterans, and I'll turn it over to Yessie.
Thank you. Actually, before I close up shop, we're going to allow Gato Grande and his family to say last minute words, remind people how they can find you, follow you, remind them of the products you have, anything you want to share as last minute words. It's up to you.
Okay. I'll let my wife start off. Good, Chris.
Well, you can find me on Instagram under Miss, and that's MS underscore Crystal, and then underscore DT. And then again, that's Miss underscore Crystal underscore DT. And on Facebook, you can find me under Crystal DuPont Terry. And TikTok is Miss Crystal DT. And that's where you can find me. And also you can find my music and anything by me, my products, on soulfulproductions.com, as he mentioned.
Yep. Yep. And J. Chris.
You can find me on Twitter, Poker Pill Wife, and then on Instagram, Poker Pill Teen Soul, and then on YouTube, Teen Soul CEO, and then that's it.
Okay. Okay. And for our music, there's 2 places on iTunes you can find our music.
The Poker Pill topic, the Miss Crystal topic, the J.O.T topic, the GRANDE topic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All those topics.
That's right.
By C, baby.
That's right. On iTunes,
it means Seeds.
That's right, Dick. On iTunes, there are 2 places you can find our music. One is where you can find our family CDs. You can look under J.O.T, Miss Crystal, and Poco Pero. And all our albums are called the family albums. And then I have some all Spanish projects that you can look, and you can look under Grande Gato on iTunes. And when you look under Grande Gato, the all Spanish projects.
Like Barbados, Buena Vida,
yeah,
I Columba.
That's right.
And then the SPC White Wagatone.
Right. That's
and
right.
Trap remixed by the famous mute producer, Apple Juice Kid.
Yeah, he mentioned something that we have a guy that remixed our Es Posible song. He's a producer. Shout out to Apple Juice Kid. He's produced for Wale. He's also produced for Azalea Banks. So we wanted to shout him out for remixing. Thank you, Apple Juice, aka Stephen Leviton, for remixing our Christian Spanish song, Es Posible. So
we performed at Kimmel C. Prime G, the homeless.
That's right.
And then play for the vibe.
That's right. That's right. So
so he's your right hand man. You know that he's your right hand man.
Oh yeah. He keeps me in line.
Yes, I love it. I love it. He's amazing.
He is amazing. Oh, that is awesome. Okay. And before I go, anything else you wanted to share before I share my spiel?
Let's see. Basically, if anybody like I said wants to find our products again, they can go to Soulful Productions, and I'll spell it out one more time. SOULFULLPRODUCTIONS.com.
Okay, thank you so much. Wow. Another amazing episode of Hoy en Dia TV. Hey, every week we have just amazing guests, amazing topics, food for thought, because that's what we are here for, right? To motivate, educate, enlighten, inspire, and entertain you, the viewers and listeners, with each and every episode. And I know we did that today. Lo hicimos hoy. Y para la gente que quieren oír la música en español, Gato Grande tiene esa música. So go ahead and check out the website, soulfulproductions.com. Y vas a oír la música en español and in English. So yes, also you can find other amazing products such as shoes and clothing and their music, etc. So hey, that is our guest, and we're truly, truly thankful to have you all here with us today. And before I finish my last minute spiel, I'm going to play a few more commercials that we have for our sponsors. So do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Divine Beauty and Accessories. Watch Hoy en Dia TV, Thursdays, 7:30 p.m.
Sponsored by Collective Wear, available at www.yessierodriguez.com/shop and myrod-enterprise.com/shop.
Are you ready to slay the scene and the runway? Calling all aspiring actors and models, this is your moment to shine. Join our powerhouse acting and modeling beginners workshop and unlock the confidence, skills, and presence you need to dominate the stage, runway, and the camera. Learn from industry pros, hands-on modeling and acting experience. Build your portfolio craft, perfect for beginners. Registration is now open. Sign up at yessierodriguez.com/powerhouse-workshop. We look forward to seeing you there.
All right, and for those who want to be a guest on Hoy en Dia TV and you want to be a sponsor on Hoy en Dia TV and have your commercials played here or us give you shout outs, we do have sponsor packages available. Simply email hoyendiatv@gmail.com. It is scrolling at the bottom of your page view, hoyendiatv@gmail.com, and simply put subject line, whether it's you want to be a guest or a sponsor. We welcome you with open hands. Also, going back to the Collective Wear, anyone that wants to have custom made shirts, Collective Wear did our custom made shirts, Hoy en Dia. There you go. So whether you have a business you want shirts for, if you have a birthday party, etc., reach out to Collective Wear. You can go through me, hey, and we will get that rolling for you. I'll make that happen. I'll make that connection for you. So yes, and also for those who want to find me, simply go on a Google, type in Yessie Rodriguez, YESSE Rodriguez. All the information about me will pull up. Find my website, yessierodriguez.com. You can find on that website where you can hear and watch Hoy en Dia TV. We are on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram, RSS, Spotify, Apple Music, Samsung Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora. The list goes on and where we're at. So Hoy en Dia TV, that is it. Just simply type it in on the search browser and voila, you can hear past episodes of Hoy en Dia TV, because we are here to enlighten, inspire, motivate, educate, and entertain you, the viewer and listener, with each and every episode. And like I always say, the sky is never the limit because the galaxies are endless. Thank you all for tuning into another amazing episode of Hoy en Dia TV. Hasta pronto. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Good. God bless.